So today is now Thursday, August the 25th, 2011, but this video is going to be about what I did yesterday in New York City, what I've been doing at the end of each day. After walking around the city with my camera all day, in the hotel room each night, I recorded a little video talking about the things that I did, and then the plan is to edit together the talking with the shots of the video that I took during the day, and that's going to be the video compiled together. But last night I was unable to record a video because I was on the bus coming back home. So I'm going to tell you about what I did yesterday in New York City, and yesterday was my very last day, my 8th day in New York City, 8th day of travel. So the day started off relatively slow, as could be expected. I woke up around 9 o'clock, and I had breakfast right there in my room, something I figured out along the way that getting breakfast, buying breakfast the day before and eating in my room was just as much more convenient than going to a restaurant to eat breakfast. So I bought some Pop-Tarts and I had those for breakfast, as well as a little bottle of orange juice, which is a good way to get the day started. So mostly the morning I spent a lot of time packing together my stuff. When I going back at the end of the day, I needed to pick up my stuff again from the hotel, so I needed my suitcase that had all of my stuff in it, and then I needed to be able to have the stuff sort of organized so that I would be able to repack it again after I had my bike disassembled inside the box. So that's basically what I was doing for the morning, and I was getting all my carry-on stuff for the bus ride home ready as well. But eventually I got all that stuff done, and it was around like maybe, well, I think I checked out of the hotel at 11:30, and I put my suitcase in their storage facility. They put a little tag on it, and then I come back for it when I'm done, and that was all fine and good. And so what I had to do for today, I planned out my trip to New York City. I planned it out as 7 days of stuff to do, but I was actually there for 8 days. So during the 7 days, there was days when things I wanted to do got cut off. Things I couldn't do. Like, look, for the one night when I was after I had a meal in Chinatown, I was coming back, and I totally got rained on, and big dark clouds that came in, and the sky was dark, and I couldn't do the rest of the things I wanted to do that day. So I had a bunch of things from that day to do. I had from yesterday, or really on Tuesday, when I was at the FAO Schwartz toy store. I wanted to go back to there when it was open again, so I could go on the big piano. So that was another thing I did that day. But anyways, I'll tell you what I did in order. So the very first place I went to was Washington Square, which is a big park that's right in the kind of the center of Greenwich Village, which is relatively close to where my hotel was. My hotel was in sort of the meatpacking district, or the upper part of the West Village, which is the west part of Greenwich Village. So all basically the same little area of town. But I hadn't really been in that area too much. I had gone through Washington Park once, or Washington Square once. It's right at the bottom of Fifth Avenue. I was coming back from uptown, and I took Fifth Avenue down to getting home, and Fifth Avenue ends right when Washington Square begins. So anyways, I went there, and I didn't really have a whole lot to do that day, so I kind of just took it easy. I just kind of sat around a lot, just observed the people, wanted to see what was going on. So I saw one thing I noticed. There's a lot of music going on in that park. Like, there was a guy playing the guitar, and there was a jazz little combo, a saxophone player, bass player, and drums, and they were playing. I noticed an awful lot of people that were sleeping in the park. Probably 15 people were either on the lawn sleeping, or on one of the benches or something sleeping. There's lots of people in the park, in addition to the sleeping people, but I probably saw about 15 people that were sleeping just in that park, and I don't really know why that is. I guess kind of a common theme I saw while I was there was that there's a lot of what I describe as hippies, and that's kind of something you'd associate with Greenwich Village. Greenwich Village was a big spot for the folk movement that came out in the 60s when folk music started to become kind of a popular thing. Greenwich Village was a center for that, and I believe people like Bob Dylan and Joni Mitchell were centralized in that area during that movement. Something else they have is they have the big fountain in the middle of the park, and unlike most of the other fountains I saw around New York, that one you're actually allowed to, and sort of not encouraged, but it's very easy to walk inside of that fountain. Like, you can take your shoes off and you can just sort of wade through the middle of it. And I saw some kids doing that, and I don't know, the water didn't look that clean. I wouldn't be surprised if some of those people that are sleeping in the park use that fountain as their bathtub as well. So definitely a hippie area of town. That's how I was feeling it, at least on the particular morning that I was there. One of the musicians, definitely, he looked like he was wearing like a wool poncho sort of thing, and he had a funny looking beard, and his guitar looked very old and worn out, and definitely a hippie from what I would associate with the word hippie. Right around the Washington Square area, there is New York University, NYU, which is quite a big university in town. It actually has a few campuses around Manhattan and Brooklyn and the surrounding area. But I think the one that's in Washington Square is kind of the main campus of NYU. And again, it's for me, a university student that spends so much time on my own university campus. It's neat to see other university campuses, to see how other people going through the same sort of things that I'm doing see on a daily basis. And NYU is actually a lot different than the other campuses that I saw. Like, I looked at Columbia and I looked at Queens College, and I've seen a few colleges and universities in Canada, and this one seemed different. It's not like its own really part of the land. It's just got buildings that are kind of in the same area that are all individually part of the university, but there's no sort of a border that says this is where campus is, this is where campus isn't. It's all just sort of like individual buildings that are all part of the university. And so NYU is quite a big school, and it's actually had a lot of famous people you recognize the names of that graduated from there. Particularly quite a few actors, because it specializes in the arts, or it has a school of arts which is within it, which I guess is particularly good. And there's a lot of people that have come through that program that have made it big. Another building that's part of the NYU campus